As the terror continues to rage on in Israel, we've learned about lots of different heroes that have risked their lives to stop the violence. Sadly, many of their stories have ended with tragedy when they've lost their lives in action. Zidan Saif is an example of one of Israel's lost heroes. The Druze police officer was murdered a year and a half ago when he attempted to stop a terrorist from shooting up a synagogue in Jerusalem. His cousin Haytham Saif joins us with the story. Thanks for coming in.
Good evening, Natasha. Thanks you for having me here.
It's a pleasure. So tell us a little bit about your cousin, Zidan.
Well, Zidan was born on July 26, 1984. He was born as the third son of a family of 6. He had 3 brothers, 2 sisters, and ever since we were kids, we actually grew up together. He was dreaming about being a security man or a police officer. So after he graduated from high school, he immediately joined the army, the compulsory service, for 3 years. And immediately after this, he worked a little while in a factory. But all this time we were in contact, and he always talked about joining the police force. This was like his dream. So after he passed all the process of recruiting to the police force, I still remember this. He called me and he was very excited. He actually told me I made my dream come true. So I was very happy for him, and he was recruited to the traffic police force in Jerusalem. And unfortunately, where he there met his tragic death.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Can you kind of walk us through what happened in the terror attack in Jerusalem?
Yeah, actually, the terror attack that took Zidan's life took place on, if I remember right, November 18th, November 18th, 2014. 2 terrorists from the West Bank. They were carrying knives, 2 guns, and a butcher's knife. And they entered the synagogue at the Har Nof neighborhood in Jerusalem, and they started to slaughter worshippers there. It was about 7 a.m. in the morning. We got reports starting from 7:30. Actually, I was still in my house when I heard the report, and we all were shocked. So it's.
And so Zidan went and he essentially threw himself in front of these people, right?
Yeah, he was on duty on a routine patrol at the time, and when he heard the report that people are being slaughtered at the synagogue, he immediately, without second thought, he went there and he charged at the terrorists. And by doing so, I believe he saved many lives, because when the terrorists saw him charging at them, they panicked out, they freaked out, and they decided to try to escape. So after a fierce firefight, where Zidan actually took one life of one terrorist, but unfortunately the second terrorist, he shot him in the head. He got a bullet. He got a fatal injury, which he couldn't make it out alive.
So, what's so interesting about this story is the fact that, your cousin is Druze, and he protected these Jewish people. He wanted to serve for Israel, despite having not the typical identity in this country. And because of what happened, it's kind of paved the way for a special relationship between the Druze community and also the ultra-Orthodox community as well. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, actually, ever since Jews started to come to Israel and to build this country, we made a pact with the Jews. So we do compulsory army, 3 years, and actually most of our youngsters, they make a career out of it. About, I guess, 40-50% of our youngsters continue in this field, in the national security field. And after the funeral, a lot of Jews, not only Jews, all over all congregations from all over the country, they came to the funeral. They shared our sorrow. And it's actually strengthened and deepened the relationship between Jews and Druze in this country.
You're now part of an organization whose main purpose is to honor the memory of your cousin. How do you plan to do this?
Well, first of all, of course, we will build a memorial in the memory of Zidan, and not only Zidan, and for the other victims of the terror attack. We are planning. Our main goal is on the educational level. Lots of our youngsters, they don't have academic education. So our purpose is to raise the percentage of youngsters that go to academics, and also in the employment field. Not all our youngsters find jobs, suitable jobs for raising a family. So we are trying to build mentoring programs and training programs for these youngsters, especially high schoolers, and to guide them through these programs for a better future.
Absolutely. Now, if somebody is watching this and they want to make a contribution or somehow join your organization, how can they do that?
Well, we established a website which includes a brief summary about the Druze community, about Zidan's life, and we will be happy to receive any donations in order to achieve our goals. And I repeat, our goals are all voluntarily goals, and we aim only for a better future for our youngsters.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like what you guys are doing is headed in the right direction, and more young Druze people will be pursuing an education. So good job.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.